Hi, I'm Hannah Bailey.
And I'm Davis Scholl.
And we're here with Monarch Nation News.
First up, I spoke with the Monarch softball seniors fresh off of their state championship. Last month, the Monarch softball team put on a record-setting performance in the state championships, breaking the previous marks for most runs scored and the shortest game in the final on their way to defeating Lincoln Southwest and becoming state champs. We spoke with the seniors about their emotions during the game, their team chemistry, and how they adjusted to having a new pitcher this season.
She kept fouling off, and so we were all like, every time she'd pitch, we were all like getting anxious to like see what was going to happen, if she was either going to strike out or get a base hit or walk or whatever. So then finally she hit the ball, popped up to like left, and then I ran up, caught it, and then we all jumped on each other. It was nerve-wracking.
It was.
Like,
I was literally thinking in my head, do not throw this down the middle. Oh my gosh, just one more pitch. Come on, like.
After every pitch, I started jumping up and down.
Same. I just ran in. I was like, oh my gosh, we did it. Yeah. I would have to say, like, team chemistry was way better this year. Like, we all had the same goal. Everyone was working towards the same goal. Everyone knew what they wanted to accomplish.
and we all, like, last year, we all kind of thought we were going to win state, but it wasn't, like, a guarantee. We didn't believe we were going to win state that last year. And we just kind of were like, yeah, we're good. Like, we might win state. This year, we were like, we're going to win state. Like,
yeah.
There was no
doubt
at all.
Like, we went into state championship, like, nothing. We were not nervous at all. Like, we knew we were going to win.
We just kept saying we're going to play 4 games, and that's it. It was, I guess, a lot easier on my body, for one. Instead of, like last year on the championship day, I pitched 3 games back-to-back, and I think that was a factor of us losing because I was in shape, but I wasn't there mentally, for one, and for 2, I was like just running on adrenaline, whereas this year I had another pitcher to throw. Jordan started the game and I came in like I was ready to throw. I wasn't as sore all the time, plus Jordan's a very good pitcher, so that helped a lot too, like with winning games and stuff.
Thank you, and congratulations to the softball team on their wonderful season. Now, back to you, Hannah.
Thanks, Davis. I heard softball wasn't the only team who ended the season strong.
Yeah, tennis did a great job at state. Let's go to Matthew for the full story.
This year at state, the boys' tennis team performed better than they have in over 30 years. We spoke with some of the senior and junior players about how it went.
Well, for me, I felt that it was really an improvement because last year I wasn't really ranked and then finished off as state runner-up.
I think we did really good. This is like the best finish we've had since like the 1980s, so it was pretty good.
Yep, definitely an improvement from last year.
Yeah.
Coming in as a freshman, I probably would have never thought I'd play for a state championship, so that was pretty cool. I was just kind of coming in trying to play as best I can, and we obviously played pretty well to make it to the championship. We've never all medaled before in the history of the school, so everybody medaling at state is pretty amazing.
Currently, Coach Klassen is deciding whether or not he's going to retire after over 30 years of being the mentor for the team. We asked the players about their coach.
He's put a lot of time into this, and I don't know, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, for me, he's definitely mentored, just with me coming up to the tennis courts from like 7th grade and then still here.
I mean, obviously he's left a legacy, winning state championship, and I mean, he's a really good coach. He knows what he's talking about. He's been here forever, so I'd say he's had a pretty good career. He's really taught me pretty much everything I know. Like, coming in as a freshman, I really didn't know that much about tennis, so him, like, with his tutoring, I've kind of learned how to play the game and a lot of stuff about the game of tennis.
2017 was a tremendous year for the boys' tennis team and their coaches. Now back to Davis.
Thanks, Matthew. Tennis really put on a great performance at state this year.
Tennis wasn't the only one who put on a great performance. Now, let's take a behind-the-scenes look into the drama department. Hi, I'm Hannah Bailey, here today in the auditorium, where the drama department just struck down the set from the play The Outsiders.
Hi, I'm Sophie House. I'm props crew chief, and I'm in the props closet. In props crew, we go through the script and try to find all the props that we think the characters could interact with. And basically what we do is we put all the props on the table and divide it using tape, and then we mark the tape based on characters or acts or scenes.
I have been in drama for 4 years. I've been a part of the department since my freshman year. This show was really memorable because it had a really small cast and we were all really close and really good friends, so it was really intimate.
What makes the show go from good to great is adding in like the emotion behind it, because if you're just saying lines, it doesn't mean anything, but when you add the feeling, making yourself the character and not just pretending you're the character, that's where it really like sets it over the edge.
The kind of prep we do before a show is we would look up the hair and makeup styles of that time period. We would create these poster boards that have examples of the people. This is what a stage makeup kit looks like.
So a stage manager basically runs everything backstage. They tell run crew when to put set pieces on the stage. They cue sound and lights, and they do like flies, like they close and open the grand. One of the most stressful things about stage crew that no one thinks about is making sure you're not interrupting a scene when you're placing set pieces down. So you have to be quick about it, but you can't be loud. You have to make sure that light and sound cues are at the right time, otherwise the scene doesn't make sense.
That was your behind-the-scenes look into our very own Monarch Drama Department. Now, back to you, Davis.
Thanks, Hannah, for the behind-the-scenes look in the drama department. Now let's take a trip down 84th Street to learn more about the new bridge.
Hi, I'm Skylar Shent here with Monarch Nation News, and we're here at the construction site of the Pedestrian Bridge here in downtown Papillion between the Papillion Middle School and the District Central office.
The teardown and reconstruction of the pedestrian bridge has had an effect on not only the students and parents here at Papillion Middle School, but also the majority of citizens here in Old Town Papillion.
Well, our old bridge was showing a lot of signs of age. There were a lot of rust spots and cracking, and it just gotten to the point where our staff determined that they weren't comfortable with it being in use for another year. They didn't think it could be safely used for another school year. The school district's working together with our police department right now, and they've taken some steps to make sure that kids can cross the street safely. I think stepping up some of the staff that they've got working the crosswalks, and then also increased police presence during school hours, or during the hours that they would have school students crossing the street. I mean, we'll kind of play the winter weather as we can. I mean, weather can definitely delay this project, but we're going to push ahead with this project as well as we can as the conditions allow. First of all, it'll be a lot bigger because of ADA requirements. It'll be 600-foot total length of the span versus the old bridge was 300 foot. And that's, like I say, because of the ADA requirements. It's also going to be a black steel truss structure. Where the old bridge was kind of a concrete structure, it'll be more of a steel truss structure.
The projected completion date is set for early January, but until then, the city asks drivers, parents, and students to continue to be patient and understanding. Now back to you, Hannah.
Thanks, Skylar. Can't wait to see the finished product.
Now let's take it over to Maya to learn more about the new bond issue.
There may be some changes coming to our halls in the future, as a potential education bond is being discussed by both the Board of Education and the community. A preliminary list of projects includes infrastructure updates and improvements to several schools throughout the district. We talked to Assistant Superintendent Doug Lewis to learn how the bond, if passed, would affect Papillion La Vista High School.
Papillion La Vista High School has several projects. One is to move the front office from its current position to the back side of the building, which would provide a single access point for both students and for visitors during the school day. The area that would be opened up by the movement of the current office would be a flexible learning space for some fine arts as well as testing and perhaps large lecture areas. I think the STEM programming is a big plus.
I talked to PLHS Industrial Tech Department head Scott Kneifel to hear more about how the bond could affect our STEM program.
The proposed expansion of the STEM Academy, if it gets approved in the spring, would give an opportunity for our STEM students to explore classes that they normally would not have the opportunity. We're looking in two areas, the construction area, and also the manufacturing welding area. And currently, we're very limited in space and limited in equipment, and we'd like to expand those areas.
One of the biggest changes to BLHS would be an 18 classroom expansion for new freshman classrooms.
What we're proposing is kind of a 9th grade wing of the building. It kind of alleviates the traffic within the hallways. The idea was if we have a space for the 9th grade, we can do some transitional programming with them, help them transition from the middle school into the high school space.
In its current iteration, the bond proposal would also include expanding the cafeteria, safety and security improvements, and the addition of new parking. I'm Maya Harvey with Monarch Nation News, and back to you.
Thanks, Maya.
Now let's send it down to Andrew Popelka to recap marching band season.
We're down here on the turf, where when most people see it, they think of football or soccer. Yet for over 100 flourishing musicians, this is their home. We talked to some of the marching band seniors to get what it's like to be a leader in the Monarch Marching Band, what their favorite memory is from all time, and what their take was on this season.
Like as seniors, usually you want to leave something behind, so every time I got up on the podium or was giving instruction or leading or anything, I just really thought about what I was saying and made sure that this would last for like years of band to come.
Yeah, last year I was the section leader of the alto saxophones, and like along with having to learn all their names and stuff about them, also when the teaching moments came, it's a lot easier to teach 12, 15 kids how to march and do the fundamentals of marching rather than 100 when we're in a block, you know, doing forward and backwards marching and stuff like that. It's a little more difficult, but between the three of us drum majors, we did a good job, and I think we all became better marchers because of it.
My all-time favorite memory would be from freshman year when my section leader told me to play really loud and I couldn't because I was still new to the instrument. And one day I played like really loud. Mr. Keller yelled at me, so it felt pretty good.
You know, I've had a variety of memories, but one that I'd probably definitely choose is how the band basically all comes together when they're out in the field and they're extremely exhausted after literally, you know, 5 or 6 hours of doing nothing but marching band. And then from that point, we go out to lunch together in groups. We would do, you know, silly things as a whole. I remember Zach and I, the drum major, we just threw a Frisbee on the field for half an hour for no reason, even though we were both exhausted. Things like that make it fun.
Probably one of my favorite memories was just bonding with the section, with the trumpet section. We, freshman year, it wasn't the best because we didn't have any, but sophomore and junior year, by far we had one of the best couple of section bonding times, and we just like have parties, and it was a lot of fun.
I think Gladiator was my favorite show because, you know, it's the first show I ever did, so it's always going to stick with me. I'm gonna miss the friends I made a little bit, not a lot. Man.
Thank you and congratulations on the fantastic season. Now back to Hannah.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, that's about all the time we have.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Stay